Hello students, welcome to this audio session. In this session we are going to discuss chapter 1, Science, class 10th. Now this unit deals with the chemical reactions and equations. First I'll explain the lesson to you in a couple of videos, then subsequently notes and then question answers of NCERT and subsequently going for online MCQs tests. So we start with the first narrative. Student, well, you can always go to your book because most of the things are directly from the book itself. So that you can have a proper, you can say, understanding. So let me start. Consider the following situations of daily life and think what happens when milk is left at room temperature during summers, an iron tawa, pan or nail is left exposed to humid atmosphere, grapes get fermented, food is cooked, food gets digested in our body, and lastly we respire. So in all the above situations, the nature and the identity of the initial substances have somewhat changed. We have already learnt about physical and chemical changes of matter in our previous classes. Whenever a chemical change takes place or occurs, we can say that a chemical reaction has taken place. So you may perhaps be wondering as to what is actually meant by chemical reaction. How do we know or come to know that a chemical reaction has taken place? Let us perform some activities to find the answer to these questions. The student, this is a comprehension activity and you have to keep giving this assignment part also. So first question which is given to you after this narration is write any one difference between physical and chemical change. So though you might have studied many differences, but here even one odd will be sufficient. Though you have to write only one difference, but I'll just give you a couple of differences, maybe two or three. Firstly, in a chemical change, the molecular composition of a substance completely changes and a new substance is formed. But in physical change, what we find that there is no such change in the uh, appearance. Appearance may change, but there is no such formation of new substance. Second important point is no energy is produced in a physical change, while in chemical energy, energy is generally absorbed. But subsequently, there are different type of reactions. So if you see the example here, for example, freezing of water, it is a physical change because water freezes and when temperature increases, it changes into liquid form again, and then if further we give it heat, it changes into vapors. So these differences are there. But then you may note down any of these and just you have to write one difference. Then we start with the activity. Now this activity is quite important here. Activity says, it's from the book, clean a magnesium ribbon about 2 centimeter long by rubbing it with sandpaper. Magnesium, I hope you understand, magnesium is Mg. Remember always when we write symbols, M has to be capital and the second letter has to be in small letter. So M capital G, Mg, magnesium. Second part, hold it with a pair of tongs. Now what are tongs? Now this is called a tong. This is a tong. With the help of a tong, you can always uh, get hold of this any substance. So here we have taken magnesium ribbon. Thirdly, burn it using a spirit lamp or burner and collect the ash so formed in a watch glass as shown. So what we find here that we burned this and after burning the ash which we got is collected over here in the watch glass. Burn the magnesium ribbon keeping it as far as possible from your eyes. What do you observe? So now how will you hold magnesium ribbon in the activity? So answer is too simple rather. It is with the help of tong. You must have observed that magnesium ribbon burns with a dazzling white flame and changes into a white powder. This powder is magnesium oxide and magnesium oxide is MgO. because as you are aware of, magnesium is a positive ion, cation with valency Mg2 positive, and oxide is 2 negative. So both these cancel out. So MgO is the formula for magnesium oxide. It is formed due to the reaction between magnesium and oxygen present in the air. So here you have to write what is the color of the substance formed when magnesium is burnt in oxygen. So very simple, as we find here, into white powder. So color of magnesium oxide is white, and of course when it is burnt it forms magnesium oxide, and magnesium oxide, as I've told you, MgO. So you have to write this question accordingly. Another activity comes: take lead nitrate solution in a test tube. Now lead nitrate, student, is lead is Pb, and nitrate is of course NO3, 1 negative. Anyhow, we just see the activity. Add potassium iodide solution to this. What do you observe? So you have taken lead nitrate and added potassium iodide. So what are the chemical formulae of lead nitrate and potassium iodide? So before moving further, you have to write these formulae. I hope you remember. Anyhow, lead nitrate is PbNO3 twice. When I say twice, it means NO3 has to be in the bracket, and then you have to write 2. So PbNO3 twice is the formula for lead nitrate, and for potassium iodide, it is Ki. Potassium is K and I is potassium iodide, of course, iodine. So potassium iodide and lead nitrate are combined, and here they undergo rather double displacement reaction. But anyhow, first let us see the activity. Take a few, okay. So I think activity stops here only. We start with a new one after this. So what are the chemical formulae? As I've told you here, this is what it is. But otherwise, in this reaction, when you take potassium iodide and lead nitrate, and when they are combined, they undergo double displacement reaction. Double replacement we'll see in the later part of this chapter. Now potassium iodide reacts with lead nitrate and produces lead iodide, that is PbI2, and potassium nitrate, that is KNO3. And very importantly, potassium nitrate is water soluble, so you get aqueous form. And lead ions and iodide ions will eventually meet to form yellow precipitate. So here you may like to remember that lead iodide, which is formed here, is in the form of yellow precipitate. Anyhow, we move to our next activity. Take a few zinc granules in a conical flask or a test tube. So this is a conical flask, as you find here. You can do this experiment in test tube also, but I think conical flask is a safer way to do it. Add dilute hydrochloric acid. So you have taken zinc granules. Zinc is, student, Zn, Z capital and small. So zinc. Now granulated form of zinc is quite active. So that is why we have taken zinc granules. And then add dilute hydrochloric acid. Now if you want to take hydrochloric acid, it is HCl. And if you want to go with, let us say, sulfuric acid, it is H2SO4. There's a caution here: handle the acid with care, because when it's if acid you don't take due precautions, it is very corrosive, falling on the skin, and burning sensation will start immediately. So be very careful when you are dealing with not only acids but any chemical in the laboratory, because as a science student, number of times you may be there, but then be careful. Anyhow, do you observe anything happening around the zinc granules? Touch the conical flask or test tube. Is there any change in its temperature? Very interesting part. But anyhow, we first take the question. Write formulae of dilute hydrochloric acid. So as I've told you, HCl, or sulfuric acid, as I've told you, H2SO4. So what you are doing here, you are taking zinc granules over here. Here it is. And student, you must refer to your NCERT books. They are the excellent books which I think our CBSE system has produced. And be very careful about these activities, because that will help you to be develop that scientific look, which is so important for our nation. So I always go for NCERT books. You may also refer to many other things which are available on the net. You will find many things, but I will recommend to you that NCERT book should be taken care of all the times. Anyhow, Then you when you mix these two, that is zinc granules and dilute sulfuric acid, you find a gas coming out shown over here, and this gas, student, is hydrogen. So here we find that hydrogen is formed due to this reaction. So it is formation of hydrogen gas by the action of dilute sulfuric acid on zinc. Well, I just give you the equation. It is, though we will be studying about this in the later part of this chapter. It is zinc Zn plus H2SO4. So giving you with the arrow, of course, zinc sulfate, that is ZnSO4. Remember, valency of zinc is +2 and sulfate is -2, -2. So both are cancelled out here. So zinc sulfate, ZnSO4, and we get the gas which is called H2, that is hydrogen gas is formed over here. I move to the next part. From the above three activities, we can say that any of the following observations helps us to determine whether a chemical reaction has taken place. So for a chemical reaction, now we get the complete answer. In the beginning, I asked you what is physical and chemical reaction, the difference. So here three things are very important. First, change in state, change in color, evolution of a gas, and change in temperature. Of course, temperature also changes if you touch the flask. So it means in a chemical reaction, all the four things are taking place. Chemical nature is changed, color is changed, evolution of a gas may or may not be, depends, and there is always change in temperature. Either temperature is absorbed or it is increased. I mean, heat is absorbed, I should say. So if there is absorption of heat in a chemical reaction, reaction is called endothermic reaction. Well, you just put, well, you want to prepare a cup of tea for yourself, just have some water in a container, put it on a burner. What you find? It absorbs heat and water starts boiling before you're putting other ingredients to have a good cup of tea for yourself. So this reaction is absorbing energy in the form of heat coming from the burner when you burn it, the gas. So this reaction is endothermic reaction. But if heat is produced, then the reaction is called exothermic. With details we'll see in the later part of this chapter. Question 6 now I am asking here is, which are four changes which may take place in a chemical reaction? So ready-made answer is available here itself. We move to seventh narrative here, various types of chemical reactions and their symbolic representation. Now this is dealing with chemical equation. Now what is a chemical equation? As I've just told you in the previous reaction, this is a chemical equation. Now here, this is the arrow. Arrow in fact divides this into two parts. One is the left part, that is magnesium and oxygen here, and this is the right part, that is the product. So left side we take reactants, and right side we take products. So if you see this reaction, it is very obvious. Anyhow, we just go to the book once again. Chemical equations. When magnesium ribbon is burnt in oxygen, it gets converted to magnesium oxide. This description of a chemical reaction in a sentence form is quite long. So it's very cumbersome to write it, to say like this every time. It can be written in a shorter form. The simplest way to do this is to write it in the form of a word equation. So student, this is the word equation given over here. Magnesium plus oxygen giving you magnesium oxide. As I've told you, left side is for reactants and right side is for products. Well, you have to answer here. What is the chemical formula of magnesium oxide? It is MgO. We move to part 8. The substances that undergo chemical change in the reaction, magnesium and oxygen, are the reactants. The new substance, magnesium oxide, formed during the reaction is the product. So you have to write the names of reactants and products in question number 8. Very simple. We move to question number 9. A word equation shows change of reactants to products through an arrow placed between them. The reactants are written on the left hand side. We call it LHS further, and with a plus sign between them. Similarly, products are written on the right side with a plus sign between them. Well, in this equation, student, there is only one product, but if there are two or more products, we can always put plus sign. The arrowhead points towards the products and shows the direction of the reaction. What is written on the left hand side and right hand side of a chemical equation? Well, very simple question, I believe. Then we move to question number 10. Writing a chemical equation. Now we have to change this equation into a chemical equation. So a chemical equation can be made more concise and useful if we use chemical formulae instead of words. So word equation as we have seen, but then if you take this equation in the form of uh, formulae, chemical formulae, then it becomes a chemical equation. A chemical equation represents a chemical reaction. So what does a chemical equation represent? It shows chemical reaction. We move with an example here, 11th point. Formulae of magnesium oxygen and magnesium oxide in the above word equation can be written as, here it is Mg plus O2 giving you MgO. So left side is the reactants, here are the products. Count and compare the number of atoms of each element on left hand side and right hand side of the arrow. Now students, arrow means sign of equality as we find in mathematics. So when we say magnesium plus oxygen, in real terms we are saying magnesium, that is Mg plus O2, is equal to MgO. So if not, then so we count the number of atoms. Magnesium has got nothing over here, so it means one atom. Nothing means one, of course. And Mg on the right side is also one, so they are same. O2 here is two atoms, but here O is only one. It means this equation is not a balanced equation. It is an unbalanced equation. So, or such a chemical equation is a skeletal chemical equation for a reaction. So if you refer to your book, equation 1.2 is a skeletal equation, chemical equation. Now we have to change it into balanced chemical equation. So according to law of conservation of mass, that mass can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. That is, the total mass of the elements present in the products of a chemical reaction has to be equal to the total mass of the elements present in the reactants here. So the next question, you have to define the law of conservation of mass as given over here. Then in this reaction we write the skeleton equation. The skeleton equation is zinc plus sulfuric acid give you zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. So again you can take this question number 12. Now the above word equation may be represented by the following chemical equation: zinc Zn plus H2SO4 giving zinc sulfate plus H2. Now let us see the number of atoms. On left side zinc is only 1. On the right side again it is 1. Then we take hydrogen. Hydrogen are 2 here. Here are also 2. So same, no problem. Here sulfur is 1. Here sulfur is also 1. Here oxygen is 4. Here oxygen is 4. So this equation is a balanced in itself. But not all equations are balanced. For example, in this equation is not a balanced one. Because here oxygen is 1 here, but then on the left hand side it is 2. We'll see later on how to balance equations, but just to say here, if you put 2 over here, if you write 2 MgO and put 2 here, so if you take this equation as 2 Mg plus O2 is equal to 2 MgO, you will find this equation also getting balanced. But how to balance the equation, we'll see in our next subsequent, you can say, videos. With this I finish this video. If any problem, you can always speak to me. My mobile number, as you are aware of, given on the website also, 93573888588. Student, there are just 13 questions, so complete these questions and send for checking. Once we check these questions, or our staff checks these questions, they will be put in your regular folder, which is there, known as electronic, you can say, notebook. So in electronic notebook we'll put this, and the corrected version of your answers once we check it, and subsequently they will become your notes. So this electronic notebook, which is there on your name, rather on your index I should say, will always be available to you till the time you go for your final exam. And as it is in the form of, we have put it in the form of PDF, so that you can always download it. Not necessarily you should come to the website every time and do it. Just download it as a PDF and then keep doing the needful. Remember one thing, the latest PDF you must refer to always, because we keep improving our PDF. Anyhow, battery is running low, so I close this package here. All the best then. Bye bye.